All right, let's try this one more time. Let's try this one more time. Hopefully my signal is better here. Um, Let me see if anybody's going to come back in here. Started talking about the intangibles that a woman should look for in a man. And we discussed, in our first attempt, we discussed how the typical average woman is still hung up on the superficial aspects of manhood. You know, what he looked like, what kind of swag he has, what kind of clothing he wears, how much money he has. Nothing wrong with any of that stuff. But the Bible says for a reason that man looks on the outward appearance while God looks on the heart. And a wise woman looks on the heart while a less than wise woman, a silly woman, is hung up on the outward appearance. Number one, the outward appearance is what? It's always changing. Man is not going to look that way for the rest of his life. And then we talked about how when women make relational choices, you're typically making a relational decision for a man that you feel like you can have fun with. And the reality of life is that much of life, in some cases, in some people's lives, most of life is not about, it's not going to be fun. A lot of life is going to be suffering and struggle. And so a wise woman, I'm just recapping, a wise woman searches for a man, not that she can necessarily have fun with only, but she searches for a man that she can suffer with and a man that will suffer with her, because life brings us much suffering. And you have to have a man that what? Has the depth. He has to have the spirit, the internals, to be able to go through that with you. Now, number one, we said you need a man that is mature enough. You need a man that is mature enough to help you heal. Because if you're a woman, and I think I said this in the first attempt, really, you know, by the time a woman is 20, sometimes younger than that, she's been traumatized. And she needs a man that can help her heal while she's searching for a man that looks just like the last person that broke her. She's searching for a man that will actually compound the brokenness. She needs a man that is deep enough to help her heal. The Bible says in Ephesians 5, 25 through 27, I don't understand what's going on with this internet. So I think what we'll do is I will pre-record this one and upload it for you tomorrow, because I have too much to say for us to just keep being frustrated like this. So thank you for, you know, trying to do this with me, but I don't know what's going on with my internet. I'm good now. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll continue, and if it happens again, then you all will know I'm just going to shut it down, and then I'll record it and I'll upload it for you. But the Bible talks in Ephesians 5:25 through 27 that husbands should love their wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it, and that he might sanctify and cleanse it, meaning the husband The right man should be a man that's empowered to improve your condition. You know, with all that you've gone through, and one of the things we talked about in our first attempt is that even though you want a man very badly, the reality is that you've been broken so much you don't even trust men. You want a man, but you don't really you don't even trust men. You even make statements, can't trust no man, all men are dogs, and yet you want one so bad, which speaks to your what? Broken consciousness. You need a man that is going to step into your life and be to you what no other man has ever been. And I hear you saying, and I had a bunch of them, I can't trust none of them. You can't trust the kind that you've been attracting. The Bible says, as a person thinks in his or her heart, so is he. And you attract to yourself. Out of the heart proceeds the issues of life. You attract to yourself what you're thinking. And if the height of your criteria for a man is muscles and haircuts and cologne and sex, all you're going to attract for the most part with that, with that criteria is or are men that will consistently break you over and over and over again. You have to elevate your consciousness relative to what you desire, because we attract to ourselves what we really desire and believe in our own hearts. Now, number two, you need a man that is smart enough for you to be intrigued by. Because there are a lot of you that are on here right now, and I just got to be honest with you. There are a lot of, the devil doesn't want me to deliver this one tonight. There are a lot of you on here right now who, you got a fine man, you like the way he look, y'all take some wonderful Instagram pictures, and he's dumb as a box of rocks. Can't even think his way out of a wet paper bag. And the sad thing is, a lot of you professional women whose parents have spent the money to put you through school, you got, advanced degrees and all of this kind of stuff, and you go out here and you choose a dummy that you can't even bring to the office party because you're afraid somebody's going to have an in-depth conversation with this man and discover you got all rapping and no content. You can't even have a significant conversation with this man. All you can do with this man is look at him and have sex. Because that's with your broken consciousness, that's all you were striving for. But I'm here to tell you that you need a man that is smart enough for you to be intrigued by. Every woman needs to be able to look at her man and say, wow, man, ooh, I didn't think about that. Man, because what's going to happen in life when we have crises that require all hands on deck to be able to think our way through something, and you got a man there that's just looking at you. What you think? What you think? What you think? Whatever you say. Whatever you say. You need a man that's smart enough. See, because he's going to have to be able to demand your respect. And trust me, you may be all carried away now over his body and his looks and all of that kind of stuff, whatever he can do in the bed and all of this kind of stuff here. That's going to get old. And when you wake up one day and you realize that you need to have a real serious conversation, and the man you sleeping next to is not intelligent enough for you to have that conversation, you're going to resent him. And then you're going to start disrespecting him. And then what's more than likely going to happen is that you're going to go out in the street and a man with some brains is going to appeal to you. Now you're going to find yourself slipping in your character. You're going to be cheating on him. Because now you finally wake up and you realize you need more than a bicep or a tricep. You need a man with a frontal lobe. You need one that is smart enough for you to be intrigued by. The Bible says in 1 Peter 3:7, likewise ye husbands, Dwell with them, the wives, according to knowledge. Dwell with them according to what? Knowledge. The role of a husband demands that a man has a certain level of knowledge. If a man does not have, if a man has no knowledge, and he's trying to call himself the covering or the head of the wife, the head of the family, how's that going to work out? You're going to need more. These are intangibles. These are the things that you have to dig for and you have to search for in a man. This is not surface level stuff. Number 3, he's gonna have to be a man that is masculine enough to draw the line. When you cross the line, he's gonna have to be masculine enough to say, no, it ain't going like that now. No. You're not gonna just run over me. No. Slow your roll, homegirl. We're not rolling like that. He's gonna have to be masculine enough to be able to draw the line and gentle enough to make you feel safe. Though he draws the line and he will tell you where to get off at, you never feel like you're not safe in his care. Now that's what? Character. See, a lot of y'all want roughnecks, but they're called roughnecks for a reason. And they drag you across the kitchen floor by your weave, pull all your weave out, pull all your tracks out. But you said I want a roughneck. I want a roughneck. No. You want a man that is masculine enough to say, no, babe, we ain't gonna do it like that. This is the way it's gonna go now. And then yet gentle enough that you never feel unsafe. Come on now. Well, that's not how, these things I'm mentioning right now, if you look at your list, they tell me y'all making lists now. If you look at your list, most of y'all, none of this stuff is on your list. You talking about 6 figures, 6'2", you want a waist like that and a chest like that. You want him to wear certain kinds of clothes and all this kind of foolish stuff. And you're not dealing with anything internal, no intangibles. And what's going to drive your relationship? Babe, it's going to be heart and soul that's going to have to drive your relationship. So he's going to have to be masculine enough to draw the line and gentle enough to make you feel safe. Now, here's the reality. A lot of you are, attracting men that are feminine. And when I say that, I don't mean that they have woman-like tendencies. They're not soft. No, they actually carry themselves like roughnecks, and they turn you on, but they have no desire to lead. All right. Am I back? So he needs to be masculine enough to draw the line, gentle enough to always make you feel safe. Colossians 3:19 says, husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. But I was saying, a lot of you are attracting feminine men who have no desire to be providers. They may want to be the boss, but they don't want to be providers. They don't want to make decisions. They don't want to stand under the pressure. And a lot of y'all are financing these fantasy type dudes. But you need a man that's masculine. And whenever I use the term masculine, I'm not talking about, he's a he-man. I'm talking about he has a certain mentality. He's an earner. He's a straight shooter. He's a man with integrity. He has a word. He's decisive. He can make decisions. He's a masculine man. A masculine man always demands a woman's respect without having to ask for it. She looks at him and he's so masculine, and he got all of his stuff so on point. She ain't got no choice but to respect him. But see, a lot of y'all got these little dudes that you ain't got. That's why you talk to them all crazy. Once you been going out with them for a month or so, you go to talking to him all crazy because you can talk to him like that. He ain't masculine. But when you see, you're gonna need a masculine man, because anything less than a masculine man, a man that's, even though you're doing your thing, he's a man that welcomes the weight. Come on now. He's a man that welcomes the weight. And when you look at him, you can say, I got a man now. Now that's a man right there. That's not a little boy, that's a man. He's able to respond. He has respondability. That's what responsibility. It means you have the capacity to respond. Now, number 4, he needs to be ambitious enough to be the provider for you, and yet supportive enough to share your dream. He needs to be ambitious enough to provide for you, and yet supportive enough to share your dream. In other words, even though he may be doing his thing and he can hold it down, he's not so small that he won't let you expand your wings. You won't have to cancel your vision to be a part of his life, or for him to be a part of your life. Yet he's ambitious enough that he desires to be the provider, but he's big enough to support you in your dream. Thank you, Ann. That means a lot. So, think about that. The little dude you got now, does he even have a desire to be the provider? Is he capable of providing? Huh? Is he capable of, can he even provide for himself? I don't know how, I really don't know how y'all go out here and jump all off in the bed with a man that can't even take care of himself. What is going on? You mean tell me you all up in the bed? Number one, you know you was raised in the church. You know, be in no bed man that you in the bed with a man that can't even provide for himself. Dude got to borrow gas money from you. Got to use your car to go and check on a job, and you all up in the middle of the bed with this dude. Babe, you need a man that's ambitious. He may not be making 6 figures now, but he has a 7-figure ambition, and he working at it. You ain't got to pump him up, prime him up. He's working at it. He working on it. You can see his ambition at work. Well, that kind of man you can get behind, and you can say, "Well, let me help you." See, that's not build a man right there. He is a man. He's a man in process. And maybe all he needs is just the right woman to help him put the thing together. But you can see his ambition at work, and he grinding and he hustling. And his conversation is, I got to take care of my woman. I got to take care of my woman. See, you don't need no man that you got to be talking about half the dinner tab is yours and half the dinner tab is mine. You supposed to send him on his way. Then you don't need no man that's out here and maybe making a few dollars, and then the first thing you want to do is shut your whole life down. He doesn't want you to pursue your career. He wants you to shut your businesses down. That's manipulation and control right there. That's pimp 101 right there. Take all of your financial alternatives, your financial options away from you, and make you totally dependent on me, and then you're going to see the real me come out. You ain't never supposed to do that. And a real man is not going to require you to shut your dreams down, but at the same time, he's going to demand that he be the provider. And then watch this, number 5. Now, this is a big one right here. This is a big one right here. The right man with the kind of intangibles that you need is a man that exercises non-sexual affection. See, a man having sex with you, that doesn't mean anything. Can I just be real with y'all right now? Y'all get all excited because these dudes tell you all this stuff when they're having sex. Men say everything to have sex. They'll say anything in the middle of sex. But when a man is just there for the sex, as soon as the sex is over, he's either trying to go or he's trying to send you off your way. Or if y'all just happen to be in the same space and can't get away from one another, he loses interest in you altogether. He'll turn the TV on and you won't even be able to get a conversation out of him. A man that really loves you and has the kind of heart, he's going to give you non-sexual affection. He's going to hug you. You know, he's going to hug you. He's going to embrace you. He's going to enjoy your company. You're going to know that, you know, y'all will be riding and he'll just reach over and he'll hold your hand. Some of y'all have not had that. And you've not had that not because all men are dogs. You've been a dog catcher. You've only searched for dudes with fleas. You need a man that is going to demonstrate non-sexual affection. Every woman needs that. And you know what? You're going to need a man that demonstrates non-sexual affection even the more as you age. See, because when you're younger, your self-esteem is on 100. As you begin to age and all of the lies that society tells you, you begin to diminish your value in your own mind. And then the world outside is telling you, well, you're not worth this and you're not worth that because what's your age? What's your dress up? You and all of this kind of thing. You're going to need a man that is affectionate towards you while you washing the dishes. Your husband just walk up behind you and just wrap his arms around you. Not looking for no sex. He wants to demonstrate that you still got it. Well, see, you don't just get that kind of man by mistake. You have to choose a man that has that kind of heart. You can't go down to the club where everybody twerking and most of them, their twerking ain't working, and find you a man that think that he's gonna give you non-sexual affection. You're gonna need that. See, the right kind of man, he'll be happy to hold your hand and to be able to just wrap his arms around you. He ain't gonna be trying to rush you to no bed all night. All right, am I back? All right, let's see. So number 5 was you need a man that is going to demonstrate non-sexual affection. Because a man constantly comes over to your house every Friday at 10:30 and has sex with you does not mean he loves you. He may not even like you, because men can have sex with women they don't even like. When a man is really feeling you, he's going to give you a lot of non-sexual affection. That's a sign, that's a signal you should be picking up on. How affectionate is this man with me in a non-sexual kind of way? See, non-sexual affection speaks of a few things. It speaks of the fact that his heart is invested, that he's really, really feeling you. And it also speaks to the fact that he respects you. And see, we're grown in here, and life is life, and it is what it is. If you're having sex with a man, listen to what I'm saying now. I'm teaching you like a father would teach his daughters, and most of y'all have never had a man to sit you down and tell you this. If a man comes and has sex with you, and then 5 minutes after he's finished whatever he's doing, he's out of your door, he has no respect for you, and he really does not love you. He's not feeling you. Because when a man really loves you, he doesn't only want to just jump up and down in the bed with you. He wants to spend time with you. And he wants to make you know how special you are to him. And that's demonstrated in what? Non-sexual affection. Quality time. Thank you. See, some of y'all have never heard that. You got this dude just running in and out of your house, having sex with you, You cooking dinner and all this kind of stuff. He's sitting there gobbling the food down. Then he go and have sex, and then within 3 to 5 minutes, he finding a reason to be out the door. You don't realize that you've just been massively disrespected, and you are giving your body to a man that does not love you. Just because a man want to have sex with you does not mean that he loves you. Most of the women a man will have sex with in life, he does not love. Do you think Johns love prostitutes? Do you think those dudes in the strip club tonight love those women that's rolling down the pole? No. Non-sexual affection. Non-sexual affection. All right, number 6. I only have 8. Now this one is important as well. You need to look for a man that on some level can communicate his feelings. No, now let me bring balance to this. You need to look for a man that on some level can communicate his feelings. I'm not saying you want a man that's, emotional and crying and all this like a woman. No, that's not what I'm talking about. You don't want that kind of dude, because he's going to get on your nerves. He's going to start feeling more like a girlfriend. But you need a man that when he's hurting, he's able to say, babe, I'm hurting right now. I'm going to tell you now, this has done something to me. It may not go any further than that. You need a man that can say, I don't like X, Y, Z, or, I went through this in life, and I'm processing. See, because if a man is not able to communicate his feelings, what's going to happen is, see, just like most women have been traumatized by age 20, most men have as well. And internalizes that trauma, and then what happens is he transfers that trauma to his relationships. So if he doesn't have the ability to talk about what he's feeling, it means that there's nowhere for all of that pressure and all of that trauma to go. And so it turns into what? It morphs into dysfunctional behavior in his vital relationships. So you're looking for a man that has at least, okay, like on that stove back there, I have a tea kettle that we bought in Las Vegas. And it's a beautiful tea kettle. It's ceramic and all, it's beautiful. But it doesn't have a whistle on it. So you can put that thing on, and if you're not paying attention, you can start a fire, because there's nothing to alert you that this thing is boiling. Well, like manner with a man that does not communicate any of his feelings. He's like that tea kettle. He can be boiling, and you don't realize that anything's going on until there's a massive fire in the middle of your relationship. And a man that does not willingly communicate his feelings may very well explode. If a man doesn't communicate his feelings, you don't know where he is. It's kind of like I don't have no dogs. I'm scared of dogs. It can be that big or that big. I don't deal with no dogs. But I know enough about people who do have dogs that people do not feel comfortable with a dog that you can't gauge its temperament, especially if it's a big Rottweiler or a pit bull. You want to be able to gauge its temperament, because at any time that thing can explode on you and you can't do anything. Well, you want a man that communicates his feelings, because if a man can communicate his feelings, it means that he's in touch with his own feelings, which also means what? He has the capacity to be compassionate with your feelings. See, the world has conditioned you, and your broken consciousness has you thinking, oh, my man, he don't open up, he don't say nothing, and you think that's cute, you think that's dangerous. You don't need no man that won't open up. He can't ever speak his talk about what he's feeling, People close to him just died, and he can't tell you that he's grieving. He can't even express, that he's grieving, that he's hurting. Come on, man. He's either broken emotionally or he's immature. And in either case, he's not the kind of man that you need to be putting your life in the hands of, because you need a man that can communicate his feelings. All right, number 7. Now this one is big. This one is big. Devil didn't want me to get this out tonight. He has to be secure in his own position in your life. He has to be secure in his own position in your life. The last thing you want is a man that's insecure. Every man walk by you and speak, he got to know what he want. Who is he? He all at your job, popping up at your job, looking at all of the men on your job crazy, about to get you fired. You can't even talk on the phone. Who you talking with? Who you talking with? Going through all your stuff. You don't want that. You don't want that. That's crazy. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't ever want no man that's not secure. An insecure man either knows he has not done a proper job in terms of being your man, or he has such low self-esteem that even if he is doing a halfway decent job, he can't see himself. So he's really out. You must have a man that is secure in his position. Even if, watch this, even beyond that, you're a woman with a lot of ambition, and say he's making $150,000 a year, and when y'all get together, he making 150, you making 75, and then all of a sudden you mess around and you get promoted. Now you making 220, 225, 250. Well, if he's not secure, that's going to be a silent issue in your relationship. It's going to create a whole lot of tension and a whole lot of problems, and you're not going to know where it's coming from. It's coming from the fact that you have an insecure man. You should never be, if you are a wise woman, you would never be attracted to an insecure man. I don't care what he look like. I don't care what he look like. If you are a wise woman, you would never put your life in the hands of an insecure man. That is a miserable life. That's a miserable life. It's a miserable life. It becomes, watch this, when you commit yourself to an insecure man, it becomes a prison sentence. You scared. You scared to answer the phone. You don't know if he's gonna eject the phone out your hand. Who is this? It's my daddy, fool. So he has to be secure in his position. And you have to test his security, You have to test his security. Just tell him one day, I'm going out with my friends, y'all just dating, y'all just dating. Ain't like your husband or nothing. Going out with my friends. If you just dating a man, you tell him I'm going out with my friends, and he got to, bring you through all of this and get all emotional and blow up and all of this kind of stuff. That's bad. That's not good. That's not good. Man speak to you, and he won't even look at the man. That's not good. That's not good. A man speaking to you that you clearly know from job or school or neighborhood or wherever, and your man with you won't even look at the man, won't reach out to shake the man's hand. He's just looking off, walking off. That's bad. That's a sign of a man that's not enough. That's a sign of a man that's not enough. And then number 8, you got to pay attention to, and I'm done, you got to pay attention to how a man makes you feel. And I'm not talking about sexually. I'm not talking about physically. But You have, and probably number eight. Number eight may be, you know, may be the crown jewel of everything I've talked about tonight, because you have some dudes that can play the role and do all of this stuff, but they're acting. They're acting, and they'll play that role long enough just to set you up for the okie doke, you know. But there's something about energy. There's something, energy never lies. And see, if you're on here with me tonight, you can testify. You've had relationships with men that broke your heart, and if you had paid attention to the energy of that man in the beginning, though he looked great on paper, there was something about this man that you just didn't feel right about him. Your mind just forced you into it because you wanted it to be true. You wanted it to be what you hoped it would be, but you felt that bad energy from the beginning. All of y'all, all of us as God's children, human beings, are born with the capacity to feel that energy. And so, when something does not agree with your spirit, you cannot ignore that. And the right man is going to always, listen to what I'm saying, he's going to always make you feel safe. There's just going to be something about his presence, man. It just makes you feel relaxed. You just, you can exhale when you get around him. Nothing he says, he just makes you feel safe. It's almost like you feel God when this dude comes into your presence. You just feel something. And some of you have had that experience with dudes, but you turned them away because he ain't look as good as the last three fools that you chose over him, that looked much better than him, but were dumb, liars. But you remember that dude that you let go, but when you was in his presence, you felt safe. You felt like you could just, that was a man, babe. You just wasn't wise enough. You wasn't mature enough to recognize what you really were embracing, but that was a man. He makes you feel safe. See, the right man can be angry. Y'all can be, you can be in an argument. You can be heated, but you never feel like the right man. You never feel like this is gonna go left and he gonna do something to me. Never. The right man always makes you feel safe. It's more about how he makes you feel than what he actually does. There's a feeling that you get when you're in the care of the right man. When you hear people say, well, we've been married for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. That's energy there. So, I was thinking about these things, and I wanted to just kind of share them with you. I really wanted to just share them with you, because all of these things are intangibles. Safe emotionally, safe physically, safe in your humor, safe in your dreams, absolutely. All of that. That's better said than I did. But you gotta, man, as women, you gotta start looking at the intangibles. You gotta start looking at the stuff that's beneath the surface. You got to. And the devil did not want this to come out tonight. I mean, I got all the bars and right by the internet thing now. Got the fastest internet. The devil didn't want this to happen tonight. But he's still a liar. And so my prayer for you, and I'm going to pray for you before I let you go, but my prayer for you is that you hear my heart on this, because this is the way queens operate. You want a king? Kings are made from the internal. From the internal. Father, I thank you tonight for this time that I've had with your people. Now, God, I ask that you would take every word that I've spoken and allow it to resonate with their hearts and allow it, dear God, to shift. Allow it to make a shift, Father, in their lives, in the quality of their lives. I speak now, God, healing where hearts are broken. I speak clarity, dear God, where minds are cloudy. I thank you now, God, that even as this year is winding down, next year is going to be a brand new ball game. In Jesus' name, amen. Listen, this Saturday and Sunday, we're having our Training for Reigning, Queenology Cyber Conference. And I'm teaching both days, Saturday from 1 to 4, Sunday from 1 to 4. And the cost of the conference is just $59. I need you to go because registration ends tomorrow night at midnight. I need you to go to rcblakes.com. I need you all on that platform with me. I haven't been talking about it a lot, but we're going to deal with subjects like balancing your feminine versus masculine energy, mastering the politics. Every queen in life has to learn how to master the politics of misogyny, the politics of girlfriends, the politics of family. Another subject that we're going to deal with is finding your voice. You know, how do you find your voice in a loud world that's trying to muzzle you as a woman? I want you to go to rcblakes.com and I want you to register. In fact, there may be see you this Saturday in our Queenology Cyber Conference. And those of you that may need counseling, whenever we deal with stuff like this, I know that it reaches and it really pricks the heart. And sometimes you feel like you just need to talk to someone. Well, I've been sharing with you that we've partnered with a counseling agency by the name of BetterHelp. And you can go to BetterHelp, and if you use the link that will be in the description, it'll afford you 10% off, and then what happens is they pour back financially into the ministry, so it's a win-win. If it's something that you think you need. Don't forget to pick up my books at Amazon, and I know that there's some other things that I'm forgetting, but right now, the top of the agenda, I want you to get to rcblakes.com and register before the deadline for this conference this weekend. It's going to be absolutely amazing, but be prepared. Get some water and something to write with and to write on. If you register, you will get the conference notes, but there's some things that you're going to need to write because writing helps it to plant in your spirit. And so I'm looking forward to it. I love you. I thank God for you, and I hope that you've gotten something out of this tonight. This was really hard, really frustrating for me to have the internet issues, but hopefully the message was delivered. God bless you. Yes, these men do exist. They really do exist. God bless you, and just know I love you, and I'll talk to you real soon. The conference is just $59, just fit for both days. That's for both days. God bless you. God bless you now. I'll talk to you all real soon. Thank you, all of you that sold into my life tonight. I want to thank you as well. I appreciate you. I never take that lightly. That means the world to me. God bless you. I'll talk to you all real soon. God bless you.